everybody, and welcome back to Latvia, round 6 of the FIM Motocross World Championship with me, Paul Malin. We are at the Zeltazurg circuit, about an hour south of the capital, Riga. Yesterday we had perfect weather. Today we had rain through the night and early hours of this morning, but the rain seems to have passed now, and the track is actually in perfect condition. If you're joining us for the first time, well then a very warm welcome. If it's warm where you are, it's still a little bit chilly here. But the first time we came back here was 2009. Rui Gonçalves was your winner in MX2. Tony Cairoli, your winner in MX1 at the time, which is now MXGP, of course. We've been coming here every year since 2014. No Grand Prix that year, but there was the Motocross of Nations. And since then, we've had 7 different manufacturers, with KTM winning 14 of those. And in terms of most wins, Jeffrey Herlings, who is absent today from the MXGP category, has 6. Tony Cairoli 5. Tim Geiser has 3. And in the MX2 category, Jago Geerts has 2. Quick look at the racetrack, just under 1,800 metres long. It's a sand circuit, firm base. The rain overnight definitely did the track a world of good. Maxime Renaux is your winner here last year when he went 1-1. He's in MXGP this time around, though, so there'll be a new winner on the trophy this weekend. Or maybe not, because Tom Vial was also a winner here in 2020. Can he do it again? MX2 riders making their way back from their sighting lap. So they know now what to expect. After having a quick look around, there will be some modifications, a little bit of prep work gone on during the races. But if you missed it earlier, here's what happened in MX2 Race 1. MX2 Race 1 off to a flying start. A rider not so lucky midway down the start straight was Peter Polak over on the left-hand side as we look down. But it was Simon Langenfelder in red who grabbed his 4th foxhole shot of the campaign, closely followed by Jago Geerts, Kevin Horgman on the green Kawasaki, Tom Vial on the KTM number 28 in orange. Thibaut Benestan, Rick Elzinga, Tom Guyon, and Isaac Gifting also well placed through the first few corners. Vial got himself into 3rd and then fell before the end of the lap. Jorgen Matthias Talvico also fell from 6th. And then also, a couple of corners later, Kydel Wolf, he picked himself up in 23rd place. Mikkel Harup, who's been on the podium for the last 3 Grand Prix, did not finish the race. Vial made his way into 5th. That's where he would stay. That move on Rick Elzinga, a wildcard rider this weekend, the European Championship leader. But the battle and the change for the lead came here as Jago Geerts went through on lap 6. Simon Langenfelder was then in 2nd, and then about 3 corners later, Kevin Horgmo on the F&H Kawasaki, number 24, also moved past and into 2nd. Mattia Guadagnini went down whilst battling the 44 of Elzinga. That was for 7th place. He eventually came home in 14th. But Jago Geerts and Kevin Horgmo duked it out for much of the race as the teams looked on. Jeremy Sido fell for the 2nd time, and then was eventually out of the race on his debut appearance for Nissan Husqvarna Factory Racing. The 2 Swedes came together. Isaac Gifting went down, who would eventually finish in 10th, just behind Liam Everts. And Thibaut Benestan, 198, up the inside of Langenfelder. That put him into 3rd with a couple of laps to go, but it was a comfortable victory for the 5th time this year for Jago Geerts. Kevin Horgman was 2nd, Benestan, Langenfelder and Vial, your top 5. And for Jago Geerts, that was his 25th career race win. Well, look, a few moments ago, Lisa was down on the grid.
So we are almost ready for the penultimate race of the day, MX2 Race 2, but let's catch up with a couple of the main protagonists. The first being F&H Racing's Kevin Horgmo. Kevin, in that first race, you were on fire. I mean, you believed you could win it. You picked up your best ever result in MX2 with P2. How was it for you?
No, it was good. I just focused on trying to stay with Jago because, yeah, I know he's probably one of the fastest here, so then I wouldn't get any fire from behind, so I tried to just stay with him and could do that, yeah, quite comfortably. So I had some trouble with the Googles towards the end there, but yeah, now focus on race 2.
I know I spoke to you just a moment ago, and you said these wet, heavy, sandy conditions are conditions that you used to train a lot in when you were younger, but it's pretty much the same for everyone out there then, isn't it?
Yeah, as a kid we have a lot of bad weather in Norway, and yeah, I'm used to it. But then when you grow up, we've been going to Spain and Italy and stuff in the winter, so haven't got that much days on tracks like this, but for sure it's something I'm familiar with.
Okay, well, best of luck for the second race.
Thanks,
you. Kevin. Let's catch up now with Red Bull KTM factory racing MX2 rider Tom Vialle. Tom, in that first race, you went down in the opening lap. It looked like a tough one for you because it didn't look to me that you were making any inroads. Were you struggling with the conditions out there, or what seemed to be the problem for you?
Yeah, I had a crash in the first lap, so it didn't help me. Then I was in fifth place, I think, all the motor. I just couldn't find a good rhythm. Struggled a little bit with the bike, with the track. Was slippery in the first motor. So I think now the conditions are a little bit better. I want to have a good start, of course, and make it a better second motor.
Okay, so you're feeling okay after the crash?
Yeah, well, completely fine. Yeah.
Okay, that's the main thing. And in terms of the track conditions, how's it shaping up at this later stage of the day?
Yeah, I think now they work a little bit on the track. They had time, so it was a little bit sketchy on the first motor. So I hope it's a little bit better now. And yeah, we work also ourselves on the bike, so it should be better for the second motor.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Good luck to all the guys. It's time for MX2 Race 2.
Take a look at where we've been and where we're about to go then, shall we? 2022 looks like this. We've cleared 5 rounds. This is round 6 in Latvia. Then we head to Maggiora for the MXGP of Italy in 2 weeks' time. Week after that, we are in Sardinia, a week off, and then Spain, Ernée, and Germany at Teufenthal, 3 in a row. Championship eventually concludes on the 10th of September in Oman before we head stateside for the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations. The rain has dispersed here, though, for now, and the wind is still around. Let's take a look at how the riders line up, shall we? MX2 Race 2, here's how the riders line up. Jago Kietz on pole for the 4th time this year, ahead of Isaac Gifting, who was second, his best qualifying this year. Tom Vialle goes to line 3rd, ahead of Kevin Horgmo, Jeremy Sido with his best qualifying. And then Langenfelder, Guadagnini, De Wolf, Talviku, and Bodam. And then we've got Thibaut Beniston, Andrea Adamo, Camden McClellan, Rick Elzinger, Conrad Muse, Andrea Bonacorsi, Hakan Fredriksson, Glenn Mayer, Mikkel Harup, Stefan Rubini, Jan Panzer, Kai Karsmakers, Kevin Bruman, Tom Guillaume, and a few more. Tom Vialle, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, held a 14-point advantage coming into this weekend, but after race 1, he lines up for race 2, just 5 clear of your winner from race 1, number 93, Jago Kietz. Simon Langenfelder is 3rd, he's about 47 points adrift, and then there's Mikkel Harup and Kai de Wolf. There is number 11, Mikkel Harup. 3 podiums in a row coming into this round, but a DNF in race 1. The rider just to the left of the doghouse means he is not going to feature in the top 3 places this weekend, but this guy might. The FNH Kawasaki of Kevin Horgmo, 2nd in race 1, a career best finish in MX2. What can he do from those inside gates? And the 5:17, Isaac Gifting, an up and down race for him. A good start, and then left him down in 24th place. He carved his way back up. 1 or 2 little incidents along the way, but he eventually came home in 10th. 5:16 of Simon Langenfelder, the Red Bull Gas rider, held the lead for the first 5 laps, but then on lap 6 he succumbed to Jago Kietz and Kevin Horgmo, and then Thibaut Beniston with 2 laps remaining. There's Mattia Guadagnini. He'll be hoping for better. He was running as high as 7th before ending up in 14th place, but we look like we're pretty much ready to go. FIM race director down here in the middle of the start straight with the green flag. Look to the top right corner of your screen, we'll get a green flag up there. There is Gifting, the 5:17, alongside Jago Kietz in the inside gate, just having a pep talk with himself. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time today. MX2 Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot? In Race 1, it was Simon Langenfelder, the 5:16, for the 4th time this year. Can he do it again in Race 2, or will it be Tom Vialle or somebody else? 5-second board has turned. All eyes over this side of the gate. It's a 180-degree first turn, right-hander. Again, Langenfelder just runs in a little bit too hard, and it's Horgmo! Kevin Horgmo for the 2nd time this year with the foxhole shot. Closely followed by Guadagnini. Jago Kietz Conrad Muse looks like he's got a good start, but he got shuffled to the outside by the rider in grey, number 74, Kai de Wolf. Gifting is there, 5:17, and Vial, a poor start for the KTM in orange. He is in 7th place over the line. He's got some work to do from there. But it's Horgmo who leads the way. Heading out towards the far end of the circuit, up over the Little Dragon's Back. The deep sandy conditions almost catching Horgmo out. He barely has the speed to get over the double. And Guadagnini goes through, takes over the lead on the first lap. Vial already making inroads. Horgmo did all the hard work. The two riders behind, though, they're jostling for position at the moment. It's Jago Geerts, 93, but alongside him, the Nastan Husqvarna, number 74, of Kai de Wolf from the Netherlands. Geerts hanging on for now, though. Remember, he starts the race 5 points down on the championship leader, Tom Vial. So he needs to make hay while the sun shines, if you like. But Horgmo challenging Guadagnini for the lead here. Tries to go around the outside, and he does just about. Yes, he does. Makes the move. Can he make it stick, though? He'll go inside. Guadagnini will try to launch him around the outside, but he gets blocked off, and then Horgmo covers the line immediately. Kai de Wolf, an up and down ride in race 1. Eventually came home in 12th place. He'll be looking to make amends. Will the number 74? That's the corner where Vial fell in race 1. He goes through there in 5th place at the moment on this opening lap. Conditions a little drier, not as slick, not as wet. Horgmo disappearing at the moment towards the end of this first lap. On this F&H Kawasaki, number 24, we've got the red gas 101 of Guadagnini second. Jago Geerts on the Yamaha, the Husqvarna of Kai de Wolf in 4th place. Then we've got Vial, Gifting and Muse, Fredriksson, Panzer, Langenfelder in 10th place, having drifted too wide in turn 1 right at the start of the race. So McClellan on a wildcard ride this weekend. He is in 11th, Edberg 12, Rick Elzinga is 13th. In fact, Beniston is 13th now. But eyeing up second position, number 93, Jago Geerts. As it stands right now, he goes, he's 1 point off the championship lead at the moment, as Vial down the inside of Gifting takes over 5th place. Well, he was already in 5th, wasn't he? But Gifting just giving him a bit of a run for his money at the moment. At least there's no rain to bother the vision and the goggles situation for the riders this time out. Geerts, he'll try to cut back to the inside, but Guadagnini knows he's there and kept him out there as well for as long as possible. But the Belgian getting better drive through the waves. He's going to have to cut back to the... he stays over on the right-hand side, jumps long. Almost finds his way past the Italian. Kevin Horgmo, 3.1 seconds clear, though, as these three battle over 2nd, 3rd and 4th places. He's got to not leave the door open here, but he knows the line is going to work for him. Jago Geerts on that Yamaha, number 93. But this is a battle for 2nd place. The Italian, Guadagnini, in red. Gets a little bit of throttle happy going through the turn. Sends him to the outside. Geerts will try to square off and then cut back up the inside here. He was very efficient here in race 1, and he's not so fortunate this time around, but he does hold a nice tight line through there, usually through that first turn, down past pit lane. Efficient through there as well, but can he get the run on Guadagnini towards the finish line, yes or no? Well, he jumps longer over the jump, lands heavily though, does the Belgian. But Kevin Horgmo, though, he was 2.9 at the last split. It's 3.2 now. The difference between him and the Italian in red. Just losing his footing there, Jago Geerts, as he goes after 2nd. 25 minutes plus 2 laps still to run, and we've already got action out on the track here. Second, third, fourth, and not too far behind in orange, Tom Vialle. I spoke to Joel Smets, the team manager of the Red Bull KTM squad, as he was making his way to the waiting zone just before the start of the race. I said, everything okay with Tom? He said, yeah, no problems. Just said he had a difficult rhythm, couldn't get the rhythm, but he also said he made 1 or 2 small changes as Geerts looks to go around the outside. Again, Guadagnini will know that the Belgian is there, but he gets better drive on the exit of the waves, and Geerts does make the pass. He's got to stay over to the left-hand side, but Guadagnini knows that as well. Oh, we might have elbows in the next corner. Belgium, I'll tell you what, Jago Geerts, absolutely committed to the outside, takes away second position. He now has clear track to do something about the 4.7 gap that Kevin Hoogmo currently enjoys at the head of the field at the moment. And Geerts will be keen to put some distance between himself and Guadagnini, because 2 riders behind him, you've got Tom Vialle in orange. We will see the championship lead change hands at the end of this lap. Get the riders over the line. We'll do the mathematics, shall we? Because Kevin Hoogmo, who leads the race, has the potential to win the overall Grand Prix as well, as it stands right now. But he was second in race 1. He leads race 2. Jago Geerts and he will tie on points as it stands right now. Guadagnini third. The rider in grey on the Husqvarna, number 74. Kai de Wolf is in 4th. Tom Vialle closing in 5th. Isaac Gifting having a fantastic ride in 6th. Conrad News, likewise, he is in 7th place, but he's about 3 seconds adrift of Gifting on the Stebbings. Stebbings Car Superstore, KTM UK, powered by Bike Short. Haven't seen him too much though this time around. Conrad Muse. .22.5 minutes plus 2 laps remain in this MX2 race 2. The battle for third, with the 101 of Mattia Guadagnini on the Red Bull Gas. Kai de Wolf around the outside on the Nissan Husqvarna, and Tom Vialle almost into the back of him on the Red Bull KTM. That's cost him some time. He's a little bit untidy through the waves. And Isaac Gifting almost capitalising as well in the background in 7th position for 6th place. But Kevin Hoogmo continues to lead on the F&H Kawasaki, the Norwegian. He's heading uphill in the opposite direction already. 5.4 seconds clear of Jago Geerts. You put the flag out now. Geerts goes back to the top of the championship by 1 point on 2:41 over Vialle, who has 2:40. A lot riding on this race. Kevin Hoogmo, sector 2 and 3, has set the fastest times of the race so far, as de Wolf up the inside of Guadagnini, who tries to get back down the inside. The Dutch rider gives him no way through, though. All of a sudden, de Wolf up to third. As it stands right now, Kevin Hoogmo on the top step of the podium with a second and a first, the same points and positions as Jago Geerts, who was first and currently second. De Wolf up to third then on lap 4. Guadagnini got his hands full with the former world champion from 2020, Tom Vialle, the number 28. But disappointed with his result in race 1, where he could only muster 5th. He's currently in 5th again here, and that's going to be 3rd overall. So Mikkel Harup on Thibaut Benistant. Those two just having a little bit of a dig at each other. Harup thought he'd found the way through, but Benistant said, no way, Jose. So those two still 12th and 13th. Oh, and Vialle does get down the inside of Guadagnini, taking no prisoners. First time of asking, carves his way through, past the Italian. Vialle now up in the 4th. Needs that drive, though, through the waves. That's exactly what he gets. Championship lead is going to be going backwards and forwards, you feel, between Vial, who's now fourth, and Jago Geerts, who is second. Fastest lap of the race last time around for Kevin Hoogmo, your race leader, a 2:05.0, almost in the 2:04s. But look at Gifting, the 5:17, closing in on Guadagnini. Oh, the Hitachi KTM rider, fueled by Milwaukee. Quick pull of the roll-offs or tear-offs, whatever it is he's choosing to use, as he goes after the Italian, as Vial goes to fourth, Guadagnini fifth, Gifting in sixth. Just in the background there, Conrad Mewse not able to go with this group of riders in seventh place. Hakan Fredriksson on the Honda 114 Motorsport is in eighth, Jan Panzer 9, and Simon Langenfelder 10 ahead of Rick Elzinga, Beniston, Hara, Adamo, Jeremy Sido, Tom Guyon, Andrea Bonacorsi, Kevin Brumman, Liam Everts in 19th, the rider who finished 9th in race 1, and Kai Karsmakers. Five laps complete. 2:07.0, 2:06.3, the first time Geerts has chipped away at Hoogmo's lead. It is now 5.3 between this rider here, number 24 on the F&H Kawasaki, and the rider behind him, number 93 on the Monster Energy Yamaha. Jago Geerts, and Gifting has been down in the turn after the finish line jump, possibly. He is down to 9th place, 8th place. Here's Jago Geerts. Splits 32.2, 31.7. Gains time on the race leader. The gap down to 4.9 then, as we head to the end of this second intermediate section, which will be at the end of the waves, just before the city jump, or just after it. Hoogmo through, 32.4. And Geerts, his split is a 32.4 same. Right, this is what happened to Gifting. Lost the front end, did he? Yep. Just folds the front in the turn after the finish. So Mewse inherits 6th. Fredriksson 7th. Gifting down to 8th. How those gaps. Sector 3 on the horizon. It's 4.9 seconds at the moment. A 28.3 for your race leader. At sector 3, Jago Geerts goes through. Does he gain or yes, a 1/10 of a second, 28.2. It's going to be a long 17 minutes plus 2 laps, whittling away that 4.7 second advantage. Tom Vial, 2:06.7, put his fastest lap in last time around, 3/10 quicker than Kai de Wolf ahead of him. They were 2.5 seconds apart at the start of this lap, lap 6. What's the gap now, though? 4.7 at the last split over the line for the start of lap 6, and it's 4.9. So he gains overall 4/10, 3.5 tenths does Jago Geerts on the Norwegian. In the first race, he got his best ever finish in MX2 with 2nd. He's charging after his first ever race win. And that'll be the first overall victory as well for F&H Kawasaki since they've been in MX2. But, oh, he almost folded the front there, didn't he? Here's Vial. As he chases down Kai de Wolf. Jago Geerts fastest in the first sector. A little bit offline there. As he's fighting, watch this. Just picks it back up, just the wrong side of the way, but couldn't gain any time there anyway, but controlled it nice and neatly all the same. So still with some work to do then. Tom Vial. This is where he fell in race 1. Just had the back end slip from underneath him one way, caught an edge. Tom Vial. No such problems in race 2 though. Here's Thibaut Beniston. Anyway, 15 minutes to go. No change for the lead. So Thibaut Beniston currently in 11th place at the moment. Monster Energy Yamaha. He's got some work to do. He's 4th overall in the Grand Prix at the moment on 30 points. Tom Vial on 34 ahead of him. So if you're going to figure that one out, he needs 5 passes. So that means Langenfelder, Panzer, Gifting, Fredriksson and Muse if he is to make it to the 3rd step of the podium. And there's Gifting just ahead of him in 10th position in red for Red Bull Gas. Jan Panzer just ahead of him as well, the 253 on the team JP 253 KTM. Meanwhile, Hordmo continues to lead by 4.6 seconds, and Gifting does not get over, Langenfelder does not get over the step-up, and that allows Beniston to go through. What happened just before that? So an easy pass in the end then. Well, there's one of them on the way to the podium, potentially for Thibaut Beniston. Now up in the 10th place is the French rider, Mikkel Harp, also gaining on Langenfelder in 12th place for Big Van World MTX Kawasaki. So Beniston then making his way towards the end of lap 8. He's got Jan Panzer right there ahead of him in orange. And then a couple of corners around the track. Muse, Fredriksson and Gifting. Still a long way to go though, 13 plus 2. "13 minutes plus 2 laps or thereabouts to run in this MX2 Race 2, round 6 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Latvia at the Zeltazergs circuit in Kegums, about an hour's drive south of Riga, the capital. Thibaut Beniston here, number 198 for Monster Energy Yamaha. He made this pass a moment ago on Simon Langenfelder, heading on the uphill double. Watch this, Langenfelder just lost drive there. Couldn't get over it. Beniston, who needs 4 or 5 positions to get onto the podium, well, that was one of them right there. So Beniston currently 4th overall in the classification on 30 points at the moment. The back end just step out there on the orange KTM of Jan Panzer. I think it did just before the finish line jump. Anyway, look at Mikkel Harp as well. 2 riders behind the Yamaha rider here, 198. Going around the outside on the Big Van World Kawasaki. He too trying to find his way past Langenfelder. Oh, that's probably why, because you see the holes that Beniston hit there. They might have caught out Langenfelder a lap ago. Didn't have the confidence to get up over that first step. Meanwhile, as we look at Thibaut Beniston, Kevin Hordmo, who has led every single one of the 8 laps so far, we're on lap 9. His lead is being cut by the Belgian Jago Kiert. 2.9 seconds now the gap, and this is the gap here. So 2:06.2 lap time last time around for Hordmo of Norway, and a 2:05.7 for Jago Kiert. The split as it stands now, 2.9 seconds. Has it been reduced when they hit this corner here? 2.3, it's coming down all of the time. And Jago Kiert can smell 25 points. He's got to get close enough to Hordmo though, who goes a little too deep. Well, they both go too deep in that first turn actually. Kiert with the fastest sector 3 of the race. So from the other side of the monster jump towards the from the middle part of the track to that point on the racetrack. He's closing in, isn't he? 2.3 the gap. Is it less than that now as they hit the line? Yes, it is. 1.4 in the fastest lap of the race for the Monster Energy Yamaha. A 2:04.6 compared to the 2:06.8 of Kevin Hordmo. Fastest lap of the race. The only rider to go below 2:05s. Here's Tom Vial. He's in 4th position at the moment. Vial continues to lead the championship as it stands right now by 1 point over Jago Kiert. He arrived here 14 points clear of the Belgian. And Kevin Hordmo, even though he's being caught by Jago Kiert, it's not like he's losing pace. It's just that Jago Kiert is getting quicker. The Norwegian here is still maintaining his impressive lap times. 2:06s. De Wolf Vial, Guadagnini, 207s and 208s. The only other rider anywhere close with his fastest lap this time around, Isaac Gifting in 8th with a 206.9. And he was only half a second behind Håkan Fredriksson. In fact, he's just passed him now and moved into 7th place. Geerts victorious in race 1. Got a 1-1 in Italy in Mantova, round 2. Looking to do the same here in Latvia, round 6. It will give him 3 more vital World Championship points. 25 points for a race win, 22 for second, 20 for third, 18, 16, 15, and then single digits right the way down to 20th, where you pick up 1 World Championship point. Here it's just a little too deep through that long sweeping turn onto the start straight, though. Another fantastic ride for Kevin Hågmo. Has led laps earlier this year. 7 in total, all of those in Portugal. KTM keen to get Vial past the 74 of Kai de Wolf. Twice. Back end definitely misbehaving on that Red Bull KTM of Vial as he pushes. Meanwhile, a second now separate the 2 leaders, the 24 of Kevin Hågmo and the 93 of Jago Geerts. What you don't see from some of our camera angles, how choppy this racetrack is, how gnarly those braking bumps and accelerating bumps are, and some of the landing zones, like how rutty it would be before that double, for instance. Fans really getting into this one. Jago Geerts jump, slam faces that to double into the corner over on the left-hand side. Doesn't go as deep into the turn there, Geerts, and then just has a moment as he hits one of those waves. Hågmo jumps longer. Gap down to 9/10 of a second at the moment. Coming down all the time. The problem is, though, where to execute the pass if you're Jago Geerts. Seven minutes plus 2 remain. These two, 9 seconds clear almost of Kai de Wolf on the Nissan Husqvarna factory machine and Tom Vial on the Red Bull factory KTM. Guadagnini on the gas is in 5th ahead of Conrad Muse, Gifting, Fredriksson, Panzer and Beniston. Just a small matter of the overall Grand Prix victory at stake here. If it stays like this, Hågmo on the top step of the podium for the first time, his first race win in MX2, the first for F&H Kawasaki since Lommel Race 2 at the Belgian Grand Prix in 2020. But they've never won a Grand Prix in MX2. So Hågmo will know he has to keep Geerts behind him. And team boss Natalie Faze, well, she'll be straight to the manicurist tomorrow just to get those nails tidied up, no doubt. This is the battle for third, de Wolf and Vial. Oh, Geerts all over the back of the Norwegian now, and alongside him as they drop downhill. Who gets the best drive down the back straight? And actually, let's see if Geerts' line over on the left-hand side makes any difference, because you watch a difference here. Not on this one, but he jumps, slams into the face here, gets spring-loaded, but then he was doubling in, but he cuts back to the inside, makes the move on lap 12. Geerts goes through. He decided not to go long into the turn. He decided to cut back to the inside, and it paid off as well, handsomely. Rain just starting to fall again, a little bit of mist and murk, a bit of drizzle will start to play havoc with the goggles of the riders for the last 5 minutes plus 2 laps. Still no way through for Tom Vial. He needs to find his way past. He's been trying that for the last, not even sure how many laps now, but probably a good 5 or 6, 7 laps maybe. But De Wolf being very stubborn, the rider from the Netherlands. Difficult part of the racetrack. They obviously put these tough blocks to send the riders further out compared to previous years because it was very quick through that chicane. Then it mostly just to slow things down a little bit. Look at the break-in bumps there. That's also soft, grabby sand after the rain that we had through the night and through most of the day. So 12 laps complete, 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Jago Kietz then the new leader, 1.4 seconds clear of Kevin Hoogmo. And then we've got De Wolf, Vialle and Guadagnini. Still a lot to play for though. De Wolf just keeping Vialle behind him. As this race, MX2, race 2, draws to a slight close. Those deep ruts there on the face of that small little tabletop back straight. Not as big as the tabletop here at the Monster Energy one. But again, similar kind of thing, just doubling in. 2:06.1, fastest lap of his race so far for Kay De Wolf. 2:10.0 for Kevin Hoogmo. The gap now 5.7 seconds. So what happened to Kevin Hoogmo to lose so much time? 2:07.4 for Kietz, 2:10.02 Hoogmo, 2:06.1 and 6.7 for De Wolf and Vialle. There is Hoogmo in the opposite direction, so 5.3 seconds, still a lot to ask Kay De Wolf to reel in. Watch this here, Vialle. Oh. Little untidy, cost him some time. Kevin Hoogmo, 2 5th overalls so far this year. Lombardia, we've got yellows around here, have we? Yes, we have. Hoogmo's gone down. Hoogmo has had a collision with the tough blocks. He's out of second position. Picks himself up in 4th. That's a gift of points for Tom Vialle and Kay De Wolf. So De Wolf now 2nd, Vialle 3rd, Hoogmo 4th. So 13 laps complete. Jago Kietz now 7.5 seconds clear of De Wolf. Vialle 3rd, Hoogmo 4th. And what does that do to the podium? Well, it keeps him in 2nd place, but it gives Jago Kietz an extra few points. He will win the Grand Prix by 10 if things stay as they are. So can he dig deep and rectify that mistake that he made a few moments ago, Kevin Hoogmo? So Jago Kietz leads it. Well, look, just over a minute to go, plus 2 laps. Kevin Hoogmo was in 2nd place, but a few moments ago, towards the end of the lap, he had a slight mistake jumping back onto the start straight. Here's what happened. Just there, look, just ran wide, collided with the tough blocks, threw himself out the side door, went from 2nd to 4th because Kay De Wolf and Tom Vialle both go through. So that puts Jago Kietz 2 wins potentially, 50 points for him. Hoogmo will stay on the podium 2nd overall with 40, with a 22 and an 18, 2nd and 4th. Vialle will be 3rd on 36, and then De Wolf would be 4th overall on 31. So just a loss in concentration possibly for Kevin Hoogmo there, as he was doing his best to keep Jago Kietz in his sights and a potential first ever race win. .192, Glenn Mayer just keeping his way out of the way there from Denmark. This was Jago Kietz finding his way past Hoogmo earlier to take over the lead. That was on lap 12. We are now on lap 14. Nicely cut back to the inside as Hoogmo committed to the outside. 2 to go. as it stands right now, Geerts, De Wolf, Vialle, your top 3 in the race. The championship could not be closer. Geerts 2:44, Vialle tied 2:44, but Jago Geerts will take the championship leader's red plate based on race wins, because he would have 6 to Vialle's 4. So Geerts will be back in red as we head to Italy in 2 weeks' time and the historic, iconic circuit of Maggiora, the home of the Motocross of Nations in 1986, of course, where Team USA, the dream team, David Bailey, Rick Johnson, Johnny O'Mara, absolutely trounced the competition, going first and second in every single race they entered in the 3 capacities, 125, 250, 500. But Geerts has just been in a world of his own today, completely on a different planet. Kevin Horgmo kept him honest for much of the race before he just started to fade and then made that one mistake. And after taking over the lead in race 1 on lap 6, he stayed there for another 10 laps to win comfortably over Horgmo. Here's Vialle, still in 3rd place. A little further down the order, Tom Guyon has found his way past Elzinga and Adamo. He's taken Liam Everts with him, so those two now 14th and 15th place. Is there going to be a one last lap push finale for the 28 of Tom Vialle, the Red Bull KTM, who took the red plate last time out in Trentino after going 1-1 when Geerts went 3-0. It was on loan for a week. Jago Geerts looking to take it right back unless Vialle can find his way past De Wolf for that 2nd place in the race. And 2 crucial World Championship points. It's going to be one of those seasons between these 2 again, isn't it? See the rain just starting to come down now. The drizzle won't affect the track too much, and it probably won't affect MXGP race 2 later on either. Andrea Bonacorsi, number 35 there, just pulling over on a wildcard ride. He's normally riding in the European 250 Championship. So the Hutton Mattal Yamaha rider, former 125 European champion as well, of course, finding it difficult in this GP in Latvia this weekend. Here's 2nd and 3rd. Closing ever so slightly the gap between these 2, just about a second. Kay De Wolf and Tom Vialle. Concentration needs to be made at all times for both these riders, because a slight mistake will determine the outcome between 2nd and 3rd in the race and the overall championship leader's red plate. Not that Kay De Wolf is thinking about that too much at the moment. He just wants to get that 2nd position, but Vialle still may have something to say about it as he closes in on the Dutch rider with about a half a dozen corners to go. Absolutely locked onto the rear wheel of the factory Husqvarna, the Nissan machine of number 74, and there's an attempt down here. He's hard on the brakes. He tries to get down the inside. Wow, is there a response? No, Vialle goes through. And De Wolf tries to return the favour immediately, and he may just come through there as well. Oh, absolutely bar to bar. Vialle needs to make this pass. Where are we going? Kay De Wolf is still there in 2nd position. Jago Geerts is about to win the race. He goes 1-1. He wins the overall Grand Prix, but is it De Wolf or Vialle that crosses the line in 2nd? It's De Wolf, and then Vialle crosses the line 3rd. The red plate will go to Belgium for another 2 weeks before it resurfaces in Italy for round 7. Watch this. At the end of the straight, he tried to cut to the inside. Vialle had nowhere to go. Good race. So Jago Geerts wins a dramatic MX2 race 2. Dramatic in a good way. 3.8 seconds clear of Kay De Wolf, who was absolutely under the cosh from Tom Vialle on that last lap. I'm sure the pit boards would have been saying, you need it, you need those points. Vial would have known that anyway. But it's tied at the top in MX2, 244 apiece. But Geerts on race wins will take the championship leader's red plate. Just waiting for the rest of the guys to come through before we catch up with Jago Geerts and Lisa Leyland. But Geerts wins it from De Wolf, Vial, Hoogmo, Guadagnini. They top 5. Muse, Gifting, Fredriksson, Harup and Beniston rounding out the top 10. Then we've got Panzer and Langenfelder. Anyway, here's Lisa with Mr. Geerts.
Jago Geerts, congratulations. A great day at the office for you. 1-1, taking the overall, and you've got that championship lead of red plate.
Yeah, I'm really happy about today. Also the second heat had a pretty good start. And Kevin was riding really good the first like 10-15 minutes, so it was difficult to close in on him. But in the end, I found some good lines, and then I could make the pass. So I'm really happy about today, 2 moto wins, and yeah, looking forward to the next race.
Great job, thank you.
Jago Geerts takes his second Grand Prix victory of the season with his 6th race win, and that is a defining moment as well, because 6 race wins to Tom Vial's 4 means that now that they're tied on points, he is going to be taking the championship leader's red plate. It's his 32nd podium as well, and his 25th Grand Prix victory. Jago Geerts goes 1-1 here today in Latvia. Official confirmation of MX2 Race 2. Jago Geerts wins it comfortably then, 4 seconds in the end over Kai De Wolf. Tom Vial 3rd, Kevin Hoogmo 4th, Mattia Guadagnini 5th, and then Conrad Muse, Isaac Gifting and Håkan Fredriksson, with Mikkel Harup and Thibaut Beniston rounding out the top 10. Then we had Jan Panzer, Simon Langenfelder, Jeremy Sido, Tom Guyon, Liam Everts, Andrea Adamo, Talviku, Elzinger, Pollock and Spies. The overall classification today with a 1-1 perfect score, Jago Geerts, and as you can see from the red plate graphic, he is the new championship leader. We'll look at the points in a moment. Kevin Hoogmo, 2nd overall with the 2nd and the 4th. Tom Vial 3rd with a 5-3. Then we've got De Wolf, Beniston, Langenfelder, Fredriksson, Gifting, Guadagnini and Adamo rounding out the top 10. But what a crazy final lap between De Wolf and Vial. Tied at the top, Jago Geerts and Tom Vial, but on race wins, Jago Geerts will take the red plate to Italy, round 7. Langenfelder is 3rd in the championship, De Wolf 4th, Harup losing a couple positions today as he drops to 5th. Gifting also climbing inside the top 10 as well, into 9th at the expense of Stefan Rubini, who drops to 10th. And in the Manufacturers' Championship, things look like this, with Yamaha 6 points clear of KTM, so they advance past the Austrian brand to take over the top spot once again. Gas, Kawasaki, Husqvarna and Honda are next. Take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? Kevin Hoogmo, right at the start of the race, takes his 2nd black plate of the campaign. Tom Vial leads the way on 5 though, Langenfelder 4, Hoogmo on 2. Getting ready for the podium. Here, round 6 of the FI Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Latvia, here at Kegums in the MX2 category. Tough day at the office for all riders because of the conditions. Dry yesterday, a little bit wetter today. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing's Tom Vial will take to the 3rd step of the podium with a 5th and a 3rd. 2nd overall, Kevin Hoogmo, his first podium of his MX2 career, and it's a 2nd place finish with a 2nd and a 4th in the races. The F&H Kawasaki rider absolutely overjoyed, and so too are the team, and rightfully so. But from Belgium, the Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 rider, Jago Geerts, a perfect day here in Latvia, goes 1-1 to take his 5th podium of the year, his 2nd win of the season. Michele Levetti will collect the team trophy. Third overall trophy, though, for Tom Vialle. Sandis Reichsteins, the Parliament Sport Commission chairman, handing the Frenchman another piece of, I was going to say silverware, but as you can see, it's clearly not silver. Second overall, Kevin Hoogmo. Hakan Lehmann, the FIM board member, on hand to deliver him his first MX2 trophy. But a rider no stranger to winning. 32 career podiums, 12 now as a winner. Jargo Geerts on the top step here, the MXGP of Latvia. And Michele Levetti, Martins Lazdovskis, the LAM SF president, so the Latvian Federation. Two more trophies for the cabinet between them. And the red plate changes hands. It arrived on the front of the KTM. It leaves on the front of the Yamaha of Jargo Geerts. But it's all square at the top in MX2. Jargo Geerts stands on the top step of the podium for the second time in 2022. Another perfect day here, just like it was at Mantova, the MXGP of Lombardia. Alongside him, Kevin Hoogmo, FNH Kawasaki. Second overall, the first visit to the podium for him in MX2. And Tom Vialle, third overall for the Red Bull KTM factory rider. We'll talk to the top three in just a few moments, but before we do, let's take a quick look at the highlights of MX2 Race 2. MX2 Race 2, the gate drops, all eyes over on the left-hand side. Simon Langenfelder, though, ran it too hot going into the first turn as Kevin Hoogmo came away with the foxhole shot. Matteo Guadagnini just behind him, and then Jargo Geerts. Also in there, Conrad Muse, Kai de Wolf, who ran up the inside of the Brit, and he got Gifting behind him, and Vialle. Harrop buried mid-pack, number 11. Then we had that moment from Hoogmo on the opening lap. That allowed Guadagnini to take over the lead. But before the end of the lap, Hoogmo got himself back around the outside of the Italian, regained the advantage. Jargo Geerts right there in third, found his way past Guadagnini to move into second with this pass. And Kai de Wolf knocking on the door as well in fourth place. Kai de Wolf then charged down the inside of Guadagnini to move into third. That was on lap 4. And then Tom Vialle also found his way past the Italian on the gas as he moved into fourth place. Langenfelder bobbled, couldn't get over the step up. That allowed Thibaut Beniston to pass the 5.16 for 10th place. Eventually finished in 10th place as well. Over on the far side, though, Kevin Hoogmo fell from second. That allowed Tom Vialle and Kai de Wolf both to go through. They continue to fight over second position on the final lap. Vialle thought he found a way through. De Wolf was having none of it. Got back down the inside of the Frenchman, who had to just pull out of the challenge. He tried again here, lost the front. And that was Kai de Wolf crossing the line in second position. But it was Jargo Geerts, the race winner, from De Wolf, Vialle, Hoogmo and Guadagnini.
Jargo Geerts, congratulations. 1-1 to get your second overall of the season. You've got that red plate as well. Fantastic day for the championship points for you. But it didn't come easy for you, especially in that second race with Hoogmo in front.
Yeah, it was a really nice day for me. 2 good starts and just stayed out of trouble the whole day, not like 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, I'm just really happy about my speed and my riding, and it's nice to to get to Moto Wins today, and I just want to thank everyone who's helping me, the team, my family, and yeah, we will keep going like this, and we will see how it goes next races.
Great job. Thanks, Jago. Second overall today, we have Kevin Hoogmo. Kevin, best finish in MX2 in that first race. You were leading, I don't know for how long. First MX2 podium. Okay, at the end of that second race, a bit of loss in concentration cost you a few positions. But look, a fantastic day for you and for the team.
Yeah, for sure. You all saw the race, so yeah, I can't say much about that. It was amazing, and yeah, I can't really believe being on the podium, but yeah, it happened, so I'm really happy about that, and I just need to thank all the team, Mark, my former trainer Kenny Gundersen, and all the fans back home, and yeah, all the sponsors of the team, Dunlop, Arai, 100%, and yeah, thanks to all those guys.
Well deserved. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Third overall today, we have Tom Vialle. Tom, I guess mixed emotions, really. I know you're a little bit disappointed after that first race. You didn't really see him yourself. Second race, a lot more solid, on a charge, especially at the end there. Third overall, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it was not an easy day, of course. I had 2 okay starts. First moto, I was struggling a lot with the track, also a little bit with the bike, so we made a lot of change for the second moto. And actually, the bike was much better. I had yeah, a good rhythm, actually, in the second moto, and I passed Kai in the last few corners, and yeah, he passed me again just before the finish line. So, yeah, I was happy about the second moto because it was much better, but a little bit disappointed, of course. But no, the championship is still long. I had a good sensation in second moto, so yeah, it was a good weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Third overall for the Red Bull KTM of Tom Vialle then. Tough day at the office for him. Mixed races, but he did make the podium. And he still, in theory, leads the championship, even though the red plate is going to Yamaha for this next couple of weeks or so, when we resume in Italy in 2 weeks' time. It's all tied at the top between him and Jago Kiert. What a Grand Prix weekend this was for F&H Kawasaki and Kevin Hoogmo. Second and a fourth. Team trainer Mark Deruva looking on. But first podium, and what a way to do it as well. He'll be looking for more of the same as we head to Italy, round 7. But a stunning 1-1 here in Latvia, round 6. The Monster Energy Yamaha of Jago Kiert stands on the top step of the podium. It's his 12th career win, and he does it in fine style here in Latvia. He now leads the championship, although tied on points, as we head to Italy, round 7. Right, we're going to be back in a couple of minutes' time. When we resume here in Latvia, it will be for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.
Station